Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another Ark Survival Evolved video. In this video, folks, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about taming the Iguanodon in Ark. Now, the Iguanodon is a herbivore and it is a passive creature until, of course, you start taming it, where it will want to attack you. For this, you will, of course, need kibble, and it does like the simple kibble, and it is a rideable creature, therefore you will need a saddle. The most important thing to bear in mind is that most often iguanodons do tend to spawn around with other carnivores is what I meant to say, so that means you may have to defend it and clear out the area before you even start taming it. The other thing to bear in mind is that of course, once you've cleared it out, and once you have hit it for the first time around, it will want to hurt you. So this is what the kibble looks like. It is the simple kibble. That is its preferred kibble. But of course, you can use the meho berries and the vegetables just as well as other berries. Now, this is the saddle right here. This is what it looks like. And let's have a look at what you will need to be able to craft it. So, okay, something's okay. It would help if I spelt it right. That would be a starting point. Let's try that again. There is the saddle right there. You can craft it at level 30. These are the resources that you will need. As you can see, not that expensive to craft. Another thing that you will need, of course, is the bola. As I said, you can learn this at level 9, and this will help immobilize the iguanodon once you decide to start taming it. Now, for this, of course, I will be going for a high-level iguanodon, as always. And so, very important to note and keep in mind here is, of course, that the bola will most likely wear off before you have knocked it out. So, very, very important note there. Make sure you have a safe spot. Once you have your long neck rifle at the ready, what you can do then is you walk up to the iguanodon, whirl your bola around, toss it at it, and then start tranking it. You want to go for the headshots if you're using the long neck rifle. Hell, you want to go for the headshots if you are using the crossbow and the trank arrows. Do bear in mind that the trank arrows will do more damage than the dart, and sometimes with the long neck rifle you get this bug where it does not want to reload. But always go for the headshots, especially whilst it is bolaed, because what will happen is you will do more damage and you will do, as a result of that, more torpor. I'm backing out. Oh, it's coming towards me. Might want to mount my wyvern. Okay, so its torpor is high. If it starts wanting to run away from you, that means its torpor is high, and so therefore you just need to chase it down and try and land a hit on it. There is a bug in the game where the creature that you are trying to knock out will have the hit marker on it, so you can see the blood splatter coming out of it. I did hit it with the dart, but I didn't get the numbers there for what's happened there. It did not apply the damage and the torpor. Now I want to be careful with that Diplo right there, because it does have this annoying personality where it will want to push you about. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be knocked into a bunch of carnivores. Okay, let's try and catch up with it. Maybe it will want to get itself stuck. Hopefully that would work towards my advantage. Of course, you can use a trap for this if you want to. So once you have hit it with a trank dart, you can get it to follow you into a pitfall trap. That is also a very viable method. Now, once you have knocked it out, make sure you have with you some spiked walls. You will want to protect your tame. So I'm trying to get as close to the iguanodon so I don't have to place as many spiked walls down. But this is a dangerous area. Carnivores do spawn here. I have cleared out the carnivores. I did see loads of raptors. So as a result, I am just going to surround myself with some spiked walls just to give myself that safety. So try and do it this way. Try and have them overlapping if you can. It might be a case of my wyvern's tail slightly sticking out. Now, of course, you don't need a wyvern to do this. You can do this on foot. You can do this with a different tame. I just use the wyvern here on this map because it is a large map and it is easier to get around. Plus, my wyvern is more or less set up to be able to carry loads of heavy things, mostly for the purposes of making these videos. So let's try and do this in such a way. There we go. That's what I want. That'll keep me safe. And from this point forward, you can starve it out. I suggest that you do the starving out method. And for this, I recommend that you download the Dodo Dex app. You can find this both for Android as well as iOS devices. And it'll tell you for how long you need to starve the creature out, what kind of kibble you need for it, and generally the taming times. It is good also for breeding dinos, especially if you're going to be breeding them for stats. So I'm going to wait for it to starve out, and then I will carry on with the rest of the video. Alright, it is now starved out. Time to put the kibble in and watch the magic happen. As you can see, as it's eaten, its taming bar is going up, and it doesn't really need that many kibbles. Especially on my server, I do have taming rates turned up. Make sure you remove the kibble out of the Iguanodon's inventory, and then you can place the saddle on the Iguanodon, which will then allow you to ride it. So that is pretty much it. I am just going to have this on my shoulder whilst I clean up the area, and then I'll show you what this kind of creature can do for you, why you want it, what its purpose is in the game. I'll just have to pick this guy up. It is on the way. And I'm going to pick up the walls. Now, I'm using mods for this, but even if you destroy them, you will still get back some resources, which will then allow you to make some more spiked walls. And as you can see, they are quite handy. So what can the Iguanodon do? So it has this over here, which is on C. It does that roar thing. I'm not quite sure what it's meant to do. I don't really often use Iguanodons. Okay, and you can, of course, run on a bipedal stance and walk on a bipedal stance. You are slightly slower, but if you go on a quadrupedal stance, it does run a lot faster. It is able to harvest berries and bushes. It can do thatch and wood as well. But there is a better purpose for this as well if you are interested in that sort of stuff. Let's try and grab as many of these bushes so I can show you exactly what's going on. So, in the Iguanodon's inventory, now there should be a ton of berries and maybe some seeds. So this is what we currently have here, right? So you can't really do anything whilst you are mounted on the Iguanodon. However, once you dismount the Iguanodon, you will get a action in the action wheel where you can seed the berries. So I'll show you that in a bit. It does have a cooldown, so do bear that in mind. So it'll do this little animation, access its inventory, and a ton of the berries have been seeded. And as you can see, I've got loads of seeds. This is good for getting the narco berry seeds, the meho berry seeds, and that's pretty much it. And other berry seeds, basically. But it won't do anything for your vegetable seeds, as you can see right there. So we'll just kind of get the seeds off of the berries, and that's pretty much how it works. Now, if you're going to use this as a mount, I do suggest that you probably level up some weight on the Iguanodon as well as maybe some health. These are quite important things to do. It is a herbivore, and I would probably not recommend using this in a battle, but it is a fast herbivore, so it can run fairly decently fast, and it can do a bit of damage on the attacks. So it does have, I suppose, a bit of utility, although the utility is not all that great. You don't need an Iguanodon to be able to get seeds to plant and harvest your crop plots. So you can do that with just using a simple AoE sort of dinosaur like a brontosaurus to harvest a wide range of bushes. Then you just pick the seeds off of it. So, it's a good dinosaur. It looks pretty, but it's, depends on what you want it for. It is a dinosaur that is a egg-laying dino, so you can have these around and use the eggs to make kibbles. That is another purpose that you can use this creature for. With that being said and done, that is pretty much it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.